So thank you. Right.
Hello.
Hello. I was just in another session that was running a little bit late, and they're going to jump in here. A few of those folks wanted to jump in here. So why don't we give it a minute or so, Dinah, and then we'll jump in, okay? Get my fingers crossed. We're going to have some more people. Dinah, did you plan on sharing that map?
That's the second slide of the PowerPoint. So if you want, I can go ahead and share the screen if we want to kind of open with that. There's just a...
No worries. No, let's not. I don't want to mess up what you all have already planned. So
no. It's part of our planned PowerPoint. It's really just kind of the opening slide if you want. So I guess Dr. Clark, just let me know you want me to share my screen with the PowerPoint, and we can do that kind of when you begin or once you toss to me or whatever. So.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I think as well, just keep in mind that one of the real values of a session like this is that it is being recorded. And so even though we may not have as many people here as we hope for, it's going to be recorded and will live on our YouTube channel. And I'm sure will be pretty well distributed among school communities. So let me just go ahead and open. And in the interest of everybody's time, welcome you to this virtual happy hour. You know what, I remember when the pandemic, gosh, back in April or so, when at our school, Bishop McNamara, we decided to have a happy hour with our faculty virtually. It was nuts. It was really nuts. It was chaos. Like everybody wanted to talk at the same time. We had all been away from each other for a month. I think they got started pre-gaming with the happy hour beforehand anyway, and it was nuts. So I thought, you know, this will be kind of fun. Let's see if we can do a happy hour. And I just really want to thank the colleges and universities. Each of them are serving as sponsors for this event. And that's really very meaningful. I think as well, you know, there's a favorite quote of mine from Father Moreau that says that our unity is that great lever at which we can move and change and sanctify the whole world. And I think that there is real strength in our unity as Holy Cross family of colleges and universities. I also think it's important, and I really want to emphasize this, that the Holy Cross Institute is being very intentional about being inclusive of the broader Holy Cross family, right? So even though this is a sponsorship through the Moreau and Midwest Provinces of Brothers, you know, Sister Ann will tell you, she's on our strategic planning committee. You know, there's a lot of intentionality here about making sure that these gates are open wide, and that we all go back to our very roots, that one heart of Father Moreau to have us together. And so for the folks that are at St. Mary's College, Sarah, one of the sessions that we gave was the Sisters of the Holy Cross today, and the Maronite Sisters, the University of Holy Cross, by the way. Sister Ann LaCour gave a wonderful presentation as well. And we had really terrific representation across Holy Cross priests and brothers as well, and lots of very talented lay people. There are 670 or so participants in this convocation. They're from 5 continents and 10 countries. So it's really very exciting to gather as a broader community of Holy Cross. 95% of the participants are lay people. And so when we think collectively about what we do, the 120 schools that are around the world that bear the banner or name of Holy Cross in some way, there's 110,000 students that attend our schools every day. 110,000 students. So I asked the question earlier to the panel of brothers, if there's one thing that you want all of your graduates to walk away with, one thing that they represent as they graduate from your school and walk and go into the world, what is that one thing? And they said things like, Well, we just want them to be good people. We want them to go out and be the manifestation of hope in the world. We want them to bring joy and zeal to the world, right? And there were some other things, but think about that, 110,000 students every single day. We have a chance collectively to have that kind of impact. And so with that, we welcome you to this happy hour. We're going to have some fun and meet the representatives from each of the Holy Cross colleges and universities. Again, I'm very grateful for the time that you've given to this program today, and I hope everybody's enjoying it so far. So Dinah, let me go ahead and turn it over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. Well, welcome to all of you who are joining us today. My name is Dinah Kennard. I'm the Director of Admission Partnerships and Programs at St. Edward's University, and I've had the privilege to be a part of this institution since 2002. So for a very long time. I've also had the wonderful privilege of working with a number of brothers on our campus, as well as people associated with Holy Cross high schools, especially across the country over the years, and have gotten to just see the amazing work that all of you are doing as Holy Cross educators on your different campuses or places of work. And it's just a pleasure to be with you today. This has been fun for me the last number of years to be able to kind of gather all of the admission folks from the 8 Holy Cross colleges and universities around the country to kind of come together and talk collectively about the brand of Holy Cross education and how we kind of live the spirit of Father Moreau on our campuses and bring Holy Cross education in the higher education realm. So with no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We have a presentation that we promise, even though we are admission folks, and we can sometimes break this promise, we promise to be succinct and concise. But really what I wanted to do was kind of, before I toss it over to my colleagues at the different schools, is to kind of share this map with you, which Dr. Clark and the Holy Cross Institute have put together that really is, it just brings me such joy to kind of see how united we are and the expanse of geography that we cover with all of our institutions across the country and in the high schools and the colleges, et cetera, and kind of just physically see kind of the presence of Holy Cross education throughout the US. And then as you can kind of see there in the smaller inset on this, even around the globe. And as you mentioned, Dr. Clark, we have so many people joining us today from so many different countries. So just kind of seeing how we are kind of all united as a family of Holy Cross institutions is just, it's wonderful to kind of have this map now to kind of have a physical manifestation of that and able to kind of show. So I wanted to just share this as kind of our opening slide, and we are going to move through these 8 colleges, not in this particular order, but in a similar order, to kind of give you just a couple of minutes. Again, I promise we will be brief, 3 to 4 minutes each. I've told my colleagues to stick to, just giving you an overview of our individual institutions and the size, the scope, the characteristics that are kind of special and unique about our institutions. And then, so we'll spend about 25, 30 minutes doing that. And then we really just open the floor up for any questions that any of you have that are participating today that want to ask us as Holy Cross colleges and university admission professionals. So I'm going to turn it over to my dear friend and colleague, Abby Meacham at Stonehill College.
Thank you so much, Dinah. Good evening. My name is Abby Meacham. I'm one of our Associate Deans of Admission at Stonehill. And I've been with the college for nearly 7 years now. I hope that you're all doing well and staying warm. In traditional New England fashion, it's currently snowing outside of my window. So I've told my husband to turn on the fireplace today on April 16th. It's great. So I so wish that we could all be together in person. But again, very excited to have the opportunity to connect with you all virtually today. So the slide that you're currently seeing is a bird's eye view of Stonehill's 384-acre campus, which is located in Easton, Massachusetts. For those of you not as familiar with New England, Easton is situated about 20 miles south of Boston and 30 miles from Providence, Rhode Island. Stonehill is a community of approximately 2,500 undergraduate students with an average class size of 19 and a student to faculty ratio of 12:1. So certainly towards the smaller end of the spectrum. Our size lends itself really well to discussion-based hands-on learning experiences, both in and outside of the classroom. And it also lends itself very well to a transformative residential living and learning community. In fact, nearly 90% of Stonehill's 2,500 students live on campus for all 4 years. This is a great little map. Thank you, Dinah, for transitioning. That's a good way to just place us on the map a little bit more zoomed in. Stonehill does offer 49 majors and 54 minors between our Thomas and Donna May School of Arts and Sciences and our AACSB accredited Leo J. Meehan School of Business. Some of our more popular majors include business administration, biology, psychology, and education. We offer early childhood, special ed, elementary education, and secondary education. In addition to becoming experts in their chosen area of study, Stonehill students are challenged to think, act, and lead in such a way that allows them to contribute, making the world a more just and compassionate place. Our students are often encouraged to take advantage of study abroad, conducting independent research, or engaging with one of our many service learning opportunities. I think one of the more unique features of our campus is the farm at Stonehill. The farm was actually established back in 2011 in response to food access issues in communities that are neighboring our campus. And since its inception, the farm has actually donated over 95,000 pounds of fresh organic produce to our community partner organizations. The farm serves as a living classroom, and really it's a perfect example of the ways in which we encourage our students to actively engage in social justice issues. As a result of the work at the farm, many of our students have gone on to pursue careers in food justice, social justice, and sustainable agriculture, both domestically and internationally, so really all over the world. So the farm, again, is just a great example of how our community does come together to provide transformative and hands-on learning experiences for our students. One of the strongest assets of an education at Stonehill is a student's opportunity to engage with our Center for Career Development. With 7 full-time career counselors on staff, the CDC, Center for Career Development, I always rattle that off in this day and age, the CDC can be confusing, but at Stonehill, that means Center for Career Development. We're committed to flexible and personalized engagements for each of our students. In fact, over 85% of Stonehill students will complete at least 1 internship, while 50% will complete 2 or more. We have programs both locally in Boston and Providence. So again, on that map, you can really see how our location lends itself quite well to 2 of the major cities in New England. But we also have programs in DC, LA, and New York City. Because of these pre-professional opportunities available to Stonehill students, our graduation placement rate is high, in fact, over 90% for the class of 2019, and our 4-year graduation is about 80%. Dinah, I'm guessing that might be my timer. So I can wrap it up here. I want to say that our students, they're very active and engaged in academics, extracurriculars, and in Division II varsity sports. I look forward to hearing any questions that you all have about Stonehill. And without further ado, I will turn it over to my colleague, Marty Williams at the University of Portland.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Martin Williams. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions at the University of Portland. I am finishing up my 23rd year here at the University of Portland, so I've been here quite a bit. University of Portland was founded in 1901 and really encapsulates the idea of what a Holy Cross liberal arts education is all about: literacy and expression, faith and ethics. We want to inspire creativeness and imagination. We want our students to be able to problem solve and have a sense of global and historical context to all the events that are going on around our society and world. What I want to emphasize today is that with our small school population, 3 main objectives will arise from this small school education. Number 1, lots of personal attention. Average classroom size is roughly about 25 students. And what that equates to is tremendous access. Student faculty ratio is 11 to 1. So every student will have an advisor from his or her major to help map out their education. So the students are being advised on how to get out in a very timely manner, getting out in 4 years or less. They're given advice on how they can enhance their major with double majors or minors or study abroad. And lastly, and of course, the advisor can help students prepare their major and understand the electives within their discipline. Where I think University of Portland truly shines is the fact that our students have tremendous access to professional experiences. Now, it helps that we have such a robust city like Portland, Oregon, which there's a plethora of companies to give our students internships. Nike and Adidas and Intel and Boeing and Portland Timbers, accounting firms, so on and so forth. But even our College of Arts and Sciences has an internship coordinator and a research advisor. So students can gain those professional experiences even as a humanities major. I truly believe we'll go toe-to-toe with any school we look at because of those three main factors. We're here to prepare our students not just for a career, but also for life. So thank you very much. Enjoy the weekend at this event. And I forget who I'm handing it over to, but Dinah will take care of that.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Marisa Simon. I am the Director of Admissions at Holy Cross College, which is in Notre Dame, Indiana. So I'm the first of the tri-campus community to present to you, be followed by Notre Dame and St. Mary's, but we are located within the city of South Bend in northern Indiana. I am a graduate of the University of Notre Dame, and I just came over to Holy Cross College across the street just this year. So I'll tell you a little bit about our school. Our mission is to educate and form global citizens with the competence to see and the courage to act. So our students participate in a core curriculum that forms them into scholars, citizens, leaders, and disciples. And we apply those terms broadly across different aspects of the education. So students will think of those within their school, but also within the local community and our global network. We are the smallest of the tri-campus at under 500 undergraduate students. So the education is highly personalized to the student. It's a very supportive environment. Part of the core curriculum also includes our Common Good Practicum and Seminar, as well as global perspectives and immersions. So students are not only actively discussing in the classroom with an average class size of 15 students, but also immersing themselves in practical experiences through volunteering in the local community and also traveling abroad. We offer 9 different majors, and we've been adding to that over the last couple of years and continue to looking forward. So feel free to keep in touch with our office in terms of what we're offering at the college in areas of study. But we also offer partnerships with transfer to the University of Notre Dame, graduate programs with St. Mary's College and Notre Dame too. So we really want to support students in their overall path through higher education, through their undergraduate degree at Holy Cross, and then beyond as well. All of our students participate in a professional internship as well as a senior capstone project. And so they're able to really gain those professional opportunities and experiences that they'll need to be successful after Holy Cross. Our campus ministry is one of our most active activities on campus that students participate, and our students are also able to participate in activities over at Notre Dame and St. Mary's as well. So there's a lot of collaboration between the campuses. I would say the most popular ones are the performing arts with the marching band, playing at the football games, and participating in theater productions and the choirs as well. One thing I just want to mention with our admissions process is that we are test optional, as I imagine a lot of the other schools are as well, both for the admissions process, but also to be considered for our merit scholarships. So our top merit scholarship that we offer at Holy Cross is for $20,000 per year. So we want students to be eligible for that, and test scores are not required. So I'll be happy to talk to anyone else more about Holy Cross College. But I'll turn it over now to Chris Perkins for Notre Dame.
Thanks so much, Marisa. And I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Clark and the Holy Cross Institute for inviting all of us here to do it all virtually. We wish we could be joining all of you in person. We wish we could do that, but unfortunately, given the situation with COVID, the virtual environment's the next best thing. My name is Chris Perkins. I am a Senior Associate Director in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions at Notre Dame. A little background on myself. I'm originally from a small farming community in central Illinois in between Chicago and St. Louis. I'm a 2008 graduate from Notre Dame, and then I've been working in admissions at Notre Dame since 2009. My wife and I are the proud parents, by the way, of three rambunctious little ones, a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 1.5-year-old. So they keep us busy working from home virtually, as you can imagine. So in terms of Notre Dame, we were founded in 1842 by Father Sorin, Edward Sorin, Holy Cross priest. And Father Sorin's mission for Notre Dame was to be a powerful force for good in the world. And we're proud to continue that legacy and that tradition as a Holy Cross institution. We have grown a little bit since 1842, as you could expect. We have around 1,260 acres that comprise campus. You can usually walk from one end of campus to the opposite end in probably about 20 minutes or so, depending on how quickly you're walking. We do have around 8,700 total undergrads and around 3,900 graduate or professional students enrolled. So we take a lot of pride in focusing on the undergraduate education, the undergraduate experience. So about 2 out of 3 students during any given year are typically undergrads. We do have a 9-to-1 student to faculty ratio. And then another fun fact to keep in mind, about 9 out of 10 classes have 50 students or less, 9 out of 10. So we really take a lot of focus and a lot of pride in making sure that students get to know amazing world-class faculty, but then also to get to know students sitting around them in class. And to be honest, that was one of the things that drew me to Notre Dame when I was looking at the university. We also do have around 75 undergraduate degree programs spread amongst 4 different colleges. And then the one school that you can see here in the 3rd bullet point on our slide, the School of Architecture, that's a 5-year program. We also do have the Keough School of Global Affairs, which was a more recent addition. It had been about 100 years since we had founded a new school at Notre Dame. And then in 2017, in the fall of 2017, 4 years ago, we created the Keough School. And we're focusing our attention on graduate student opportunities first and foremost with this new school. We do have a few supplemental majors currently, but then hopefully in the near future, we'll have some full undergraduate majors within the Keough School as well. Notre Dame students, they have a lot of success when they come to Notre Dame, as seen the 95% graduation rate, on-time graduation rate within 5 years, and then also the 98% post-grad rate, and that's all majors. So we always encourage students, major in what you love, what gets you up out of bed every morning. It doesn't have to be a certain major in order to be successful. About 2 out of 3 students get a great job. About 1 out of 4, 1 out of 5 go directly into grad school. We are proud of the fact that about 1 out of 10 Notre Dame grads will do at least a year of service after they leave. And amazingly enough, and I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, over 200,000 service hours are participated in by Notre Dame students every single year. So I think it's important to know that you have a world-class education at Notre Dame, but also will hopefully teach you to look beyond yourself. We want you to be to have a lot of success personally and professionally, but we also want you to be a leader in your community, to do good for others, and to literally transform the world. And again, thinking about the Holy Cross mission, that is crucial for us at Notre Dame, and making sure that Notre Dame students understand that mission. Also, study abroad is always important for students. It's not just in South Bend in terms of the traditional classroom setting. We want them to look beyond and to think globally as well too. So about 3 out of 4 students in a non-COVID time will usually go abroad, 50 programs in around 26 different countries. And again, 80% doing some type of service learning experience, 4 out of 5. That is crucial, as I mentioned previously. And then also conducting research. I think sometimes students think that research is just in a lab for a STEM-related field. That's not the case at Notre Dame. We want them to really think more broadly in terms of research. Any major can do research at Notre Dame, and it's also not just for seniors. It's also juniors, sophomores, and even freshmen thinking about research and exploring those options as soon as they arrive. And last but not least, I think when it comes down to the Notre Dame experience, I think it is crucial for us to talk about community. Community is such a hallmark of the Notre Dame education experience. We do have around 33 residential halls. They are single-sex dorms, 17 male, 16 female. We also do require them to be on campus freshman through junior year. After that, they can move off campus, but about 80% of our students are on campus during any given year. And it's fun to see Notre Dame students get into heated arguments trying to decide whose dorm is the best dorm at Notre Dame. Please don't forget the important fact that O'Neill Hall is the best guys dorm at Notre Dame. Obviously, I'm biased. That was the dorm that I lived in, as you could probably guess. And then finally, in terms of financial aid, we are very proud of the fact of being in the position to meet 100% of one's demonstrated financial need. And this last year alone, to give you an idea, about 7 out of 10 students had some amount of financial aid, 7 out of 10. And we also were fortunate enough to have about $155 million in need-based financial aid that was set aside to assist our students in affording the overall cost of attending Notre Dame. So these are just some fun facts from South Bend, from all of us at Notre Dame to all of you, wherever you may be. Be more than happy to answer any questions if they come up, and I'll pass the baton over. Thanks so much.
Hi, everyone. I am Troy Murray Benjamin. I am with the University of Holy Cross. I'm fairly new to the Holy Cross Institutes. I've only been with the organization since about December. So I'm truly enjoying the experience, and I'm thoroughly enjoying recruiting for our university. So we were founded in 1916, and we are also a small university. We like to pride ourselves in that by us being a small university, we do believe that we have a family knit community. Our president's door is always open. So we see students, faculty, visitors always going in and out of his office because he's super open to speaking with all of our incoming students as well as our students who are at the university. He also hand signs all of our admissions letter. And so we think that that is the coolest thing, that our students or prospective students get to see that we do care about them more than just coming to the university. We actually care about them full spectrum. Our classrooms, we have about a 10-to-1 faculty student ratio. And we have, I want to say about our largest classroom is going to hold about 20 students, and our smaller classrooms hold between 10 to 14 students. So trying to keep our students as close-knit with our faculty as possible so that they're getting that one-on-one experience. We are rated the safest campus in Louisiana by backgroundchecks.org. We are also a gated community. So once our students are in for the night, they are safe and secure. And we do have campus police who make sure that our students get to wherever they need to go at any time that they do feel unsafe, but we do keep our campus well lit. We are test optional for fall 21 as well. And we do have about 65 plus academic programs. We nursing and education are some of our higher ones, but we do pride ourselves in having multiple different programs. But we do like to pinpoint that we are 100% pass rate on the NCLEX. We do find that a lot of our students really do enjoy hearing that. We do offer free tutoring to our students. It's put on by our faculty and staff. So they're going to get that one-on-one experience as well as that experience from the professors as well as highlighted individuals in each department. We also have a writing center. So we do know that it is a little difficult sometimes to start a paper. So you can take your assignment to the writing lab. They'll help you get started, let you go and finish it. And then you can bring it back to them so that they can help check over it, look for any grammar issues, spelling errors, or anything, just to make sure that you are getting the best experience possible. We do have a residence hall on campus, finally, and we do have about 4 floors with about 115 beds. We are accessed by card, so we, like I said, we like to keep our students as safe as possible. So you need that card to get to the elevators, onto your room, floor, and into your room. We do have a meditation room in the residence hall, which is super cool. So our students can go in there, take the time for themselves, because we know things are a little iffy with COVID, grief, loss, anything like that. So they can take the time to go and de-stress, decompress away from anyone, just to make sure that they're doing their best. And we also have a gym in the residence hall, just to make sure that our students are well-rounded physically, mentally, and emotionally. But that's about it for the University of Holy Cross. If there are any questions, we can address those later, but I will definitely pass it over to St. Mary's College.
I can't tell you how many times today I've been on Zoom calls and I start talking and realize I'm muted. Hello, everyone. My name is Sarah Gallagher Dvorak, and I'm the director of St. Mary's. And I'm also a very proud alumna of the college, graduated back in 1999. So I can also speak a bit from the student perspective. So happy to be here with you. Thank you so much for the invitation, Dr. Clark. A little bit about St. Mary's. So we are consistently ranked in the top 100 national liberal arts colleges in the country. So definitely have a national presence. We pull students from all 50 states. We tend to have students from around 30% that are from Indiana, and then around 70% who do come from all over the country. We are unique in this group of 8 in that we are the only women's college. And I know there's not a lot of us out there anymore. But we are a women's college, and I know that's not necessarily the easiest sell for high school girls today, but I can speak from some experience in that I chose St. Mary's back in 1995, despite the fact that it was a women's college. There was a lot of other things I loved about it, but that I was nervous about. And I can tell you that 4 years later, and now 21 years later, is the #1 thing that I most valued about my time at college. It was absolutely transformative for me. It is the type of educational environment where women come in and they find their voice, where their confidence is built, where they're empowered to pursue things they never in a million years thought they would. The classes are so incredibly engaging because that piece that sometimes can happen in a co-ed environment where women might be a little more intimidated to speak up. It's just not there. I fell in love with learning when I was at St. Mary's. So I always tell the students that we're promoting St. Mary's to that this might be something that's a little nerve-wracking for you, but believe me, there is absolutely so much benefit in it. But what's really great at St. Mary's is that we actually are part of this tri-campus community with Notre Dame and Holy Cross as well. And so, there will be boys. So if any of you are speaking with your students and they're nervous about that, that is not necessarily something they need to worry about here at St. Mary's. So we really have the best of both worlds. Our students get that very personalized, empowering, confidence building, supportive environment at St. Mary's, but yet at the same time, they have the access to what Notre Dame and Holy Cross can offer them as well. So it really is, I think, certainly the best of both worlds. In terms of our academic programs, we have more than 50 programs on campus. Some ones that we're kind of more well known for, we have a phenomenal nursing program, education program, really well known for women in STEM. And so all of our natural sciences programs on campus are incredibly strong. Our liberal arts programs, very, very strong. We have a really great program in speech language pathology, and we also have the graduate program there too. And then we have programs with Notre Dame. We have a co-engineering program with them, which is phenomenal. And our students can come in and in 5 years, they receive 2 degrees, one from St. Mary's and one from Notre Dame. We have a phenomenal program in global studies. It's something really important to us. We have a great study abroad program as well. More than 50% of our students do go abroad. I studied for a year in Ireland when I was a student at St. Mary's. And we make it really easy for students to do that. We think it's important that our students become global citizens by the time they graduate, and it's one of the best ways to do that. So lots and lots of different opportunities. We actually have a brand new Center for Integrative Healthcare that we are almost complete. That's almost complete on our campus. And we're kind of working in stages, but the first stage will be done this summer. And it's just state-of-the-art simulation labs, classrooms, basically experience for our nursing students who will be housed in there at first. And then we'll also be moving our social work gerontology program in there as well, with possibility of moving the speech language pathology students in as well as we continue the construction. So really phenomenal facilities for those students. We have more than 80%, very similar to Notre Dame, in the number of students who are serving, and that's something that's important to us. And I think all of us in the Holy Cross colleges is really developing citizens who really want to make a difference in the world. And we tend to attract students who really believe in social justice and who believe in serving the community. And so that's a really huge part of the experience at St. Mary's as well. So many research and other sort of hands-on experiential type of opportunities. In fact, 100% of our students will get that type of opportunity. Research is huge here on campus. So as an undergraduate, you're guaranteed to do some sort of research. We have a senior comprehensive requirement at St. Mary's. Our students can do research both on our campus as well as Notre Dame. And so that's another big piece. I did, a huge research project as a kind of junior into senior year, and I was able to actually use that senior comp as the stepping stone to my master's thesis. And I felt leaps and bounds ahead of my colleagues in graduate school because I had had that opportunity at the undergraduate level. At St. Mary's, about 91% of our students are finishing in 4 years. We feel so certain they're going to finish in 4 years that we actually promise them. We have a 4-year promise. So that's something that really we believe the students are going to do. And the same, I think, at a lot of our institutions. Public institutions today, they tend to take 5.5 years to graduate. But at St. Mary's and other schools that are here on the call today, you're gonna see that is just the 4-year mark. We also have we have 100% of our students who are receiving merit-based scholarships. So all students who are accepted to St. Mary's will get some sort of merit money. This year that ranged from $15,000 to $30,000 a year. And then, we gave out about $39 million just in institutional aid last year between merit and need. So I think we really do a great job of making this education a really affordable one. And then lastly, to share, we are test optional. We have been for a few years now, and we also accept self-reported test scores. So that's something that, we read holistically. We are going to look at, I always say, you're not just a number at St. Mary's, you're, a young woman with a mind and a heart, and we treat you like that from the beginning, including when we read your application. So we very much are going to read holistically, and they're going to look at all those things. The test optional piece is an option for your students as well. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. And I'm going to turn it over. Again, I'm one of the ignorant ones. I don't know who's going next, but I'm here to answer any questions you have at the end.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Michelle Oliva on behalf of King's College. I'm the Director of Admission. I am also a Monarch, class of 2006. King's was actually founded to teach the sons of coal miners and war veterans. It's in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, which is northeastern Pennsylvania, 2 hours from New York City, 2 hours from Philadelphia, and 3 hours from Washington, D.C. Our alumni bases are there largely, and our students do take advantage of internships and job opportunities in those major cities. We're very fortunate. We do have over 40 majors at King's. What we're really known for as far as masses of students enrolling in the business school, engineering, and also our physician assistant program, which is basically accelerated medical school with a guaranteed matriculation to the graduate phase in 5 years. So it's very enticing for our students. Our business school is now hosting technology. It's called Barco. We share that technology with Harvard University. We're the only 2 schools in the nation to have it. It allows our students to do things remotely, but still have every experience that they would have if they were physically in Wilkes-Barre. We also have contracts with Villanova and Duquesne for law school, so guaranteed admission and scholarships, as well as several medical school contracts. And we are a destination for engineering, that's for sure. You could see on the bottom left-hand side, our Mulligan Center for Engineering, which hosts our 3+2 Notre Dame program, our program with Washington University at St. Louis, as well as our own civil and mechanical. We have 2,300 students on our campus, and so 18 on average in the classroom. We take attendance, participation counts as your grade, and it's important for our students to do a lot more than just the academic piece. We want them to fill their hearts, so we have 28 NCAA sports Division III, including esports now, which is very enticing. Our career planning office is on the academic side of the college, and that's something very special in that the 5 people that work in the career planning office leave to teach during the day. Our campus activities office makes sure that our students have things to do even through the pandemic. We've been playing cornhole and Family Feud and all sorts of things, and we're very happy about offering our students the opportunity to fill their heart. Community service, of course, is huge for us. Over 200,000 hours we've done as a college in 1 year, and we continue to make the honor roll. Our students also have the opportunity to study abroad in the summertime. They're faculty-led study abroad programs, and we've been very fortunate through the pandemic to offer our students test optional, and then not for physician assistant. That's the only exempt program, but we also have a holistic view of our admission process. We are truly an office of admission and want to get to know each individual student for the opportunity to attend King's. We do offer scholarships to every accepted student. They range this year from $14,000 to $22,000. So that certainly helps with the tuition discount. And then about 75% of our students do live on campus in their first year. Our first president of King's College, Father James Connerton, says that King's College not only teaches students how to earn a living, but how to live. And I truly think that sums up our experience at King's. I hope anybody who wants to visit once the pandemic is under control and underway, that they are able to come to Wilkes-Barre and we could welcome them. Thank you so much. I would like to turn it over to my colleague.
Thanks, Michelle. All right, you guys, thanks for bearing with us. I promise to be brief in my remarks about St. Edward's so we can open up the floor for questions and truly kind of have some conversation. I know many of you are aware that St. Edward's is located in Austin, Texas. This is a shot from our beautiful campus. In fact, I'm sitting in that building right now, the building with the red roof, although it is a rainy day here in Austin right now and a little chilly. So not quite the normal sunshine and warm temps that we're used to, but our campus is located in the heart of Austin, just 3 miles from downtown. We have a lot of beautiful kind of trees on our campus and park space really throughout the city of Austin, but especially on our campus, which creates a really nice buffer. We're on a hill, which is why our mascot is the Hilltoppers, as many of you know. And so being on that hill, you feel sort of separate from the city, even though you are right in the heart of the city. So I always explain to families and to students, especially prospective students, that it really is the best of both worlds for students who want to have that urban kind of college experience, but yet still want to feel like they're on a bucolic campus and a campus where they can sit outside on a blanket and do work with with friends and that kind of thing. So it really is kind of that kind of residential, kind of bucolic campus experience, but yet in the heart of a really big and thriving city, as Austin has become. So just very briefly, I'll mention that we have 3,400 undergraduate students at St. Edward's. We expect a freshman class every year of around 600, 650 students. We're very grateful to have a number of wonderful students, probably I would say anywhere from 30 to 40 every year, who are coming to us from Holy Cross high schools around the globe, and that's very exciting. So quite a nice community of over 100 students that are from the Holy Cross High School specifically. Small classes, we're Division II, lots of athletic programs, a big emphasis on campus rec and wellness. As you can see, we have certainly a lot of students that come from many different countries, many different states. We are in the heart of a very large state. Austin is located in central part of Texas, so it can take 10 hours to just drive to a border of our state. And so we have a lot of students that come from all over the state from quite some distance, but they're still technically Texans. But about 25% of our student population comes from outside of Texas. So we do have a lot of students from many different states, many different countries. Academically, I'll just highlight a few of our programs. Our most popular programs are communication, psychology, business, very strong programs in computer science as well, which kind of, as you can imagine, Austin is a great place to be if you're interested in studying something tech related, since it's such a tech oriented city here. It's also a city that's really abundant in art and creativity, entertainment, health and fitness. So students who are kind of drawn to those areas of study or those areas just for personal exploration and enjoyment certainly really enjoy being in Austin and at St. Edward's. We started a new major that we'll be introducing this fall, in environmental biology and climate change, which I'm really excited about, as well as a new major in user experience and design. I think I got that right. So some very traditional majors, like history and philosophy and Spanish, et cetera, but also some really kind of forward thinking majors in terms of how do we solve kind of the issues that we're facing and going to be facing in our time with respect to climate change and having to develop technologies as well to kind of address challenges. So that's one of the things I really appreciate about St. Edward's, and I think about Holy Cross education in general, is it is always very forward thinking in terms of thinking about what our students, not just what they need right now at this moment in time, but what they're going to be needing in the future, right? To be successful and to be productive kind of contributors to their community. So that's a little bit about St. Edward's. And I certainly want to kind of turn it over to the floor. And I think what I'm going to do maybe is go back to this opening slide, Dr. Clark. And just share this again so you can kind of, again, visualize where all the different campuses are for those who are less familiar. And then maybe stop screen sharing and just have a conversation.
Well, thank you. I just have to tell you, I mean, it's so impressive. Every one of the schools, I think there's something for everyone through our Holy Cross collection family of schools. And really, what you do, what the thread that binds, right? We heard every one of you talk about a sense of community. And so there is that family, the small class sizes that you pointed to, the commitment to service and justice, and meeting students where they are, right? I mean, I think that's something that resonated across all of your talks as well. And I often like to say I have a little chip on my shoulder. One of the chips on my shoulder is that as a collection of Holy Cross schools, sometimes for whatever reason, some of the other religious order schools overshadow, right, the work of Holy Cross, right? So so that's a little bit of a chip on my shoulder, because I think that I want to say to the schools community that's participating in this session right now from the secondary schools, listen, there is something for everyone at a Holy Cross college or university in this country. And your very best and brightest to those students who need that additional support, and everyone in between. There's a sense of belongingness on these campuses. And you add to that it's a continuation of a Holy Cross tradition that they have become used to, that they've become accustomed to. And that is that tradition of family and commitment to service and justice and community. And so we heard that loud and clear here, I think, across the board. So again, just so impressive. I'm grateful. I know that there's probably going to be some questions. I have a few, but I'm going to wait and see if there's other questions from people.
I'm here sort of as an interloper, as a parent who also happens to work at St. Edward's University. So I don't want to monopolize. Hey, Dinah. I want to open the floor to the educators who are here who should have first dibs for questions, but then I have some if nobody bites.
Lindsay, admission folks are always happy to take questions from prospective parents, just so you know. But yes, we'll see what other questions there might exist first.
Hi, I do have a question. My name is Jennifer Mattis. I'm from Archbishop Hoban High School in Akron, Ohio. So thank you for putting this all together. I am new to Hoban, so it's really nice. But I've been in college, college counseling for a number of years. But it's nice to be able to meet you all virtually and just to learn more about your schools. I just had a question, given the proximity of South Bend to Ohio. In the past, in a non-COVID, year, have you, the three of your schools, hosted any, overnights for, students, or like I know here in Ohio, sometimes they have like counselor overnights, just to, since you guys are all so close to one another, have those opportunities been available in the past?
Well, I guess I can. We have done we have done some. Since I've been there, we haven't done like a specific tri-campus community, sort of bringing counselors to campus and having them stay overnight. But we've been our 3 campuses have been part of larger, both through NACAC and also through the Indiana ACAC groups, where we've been part of counselor tours. So, we've hosted them, we've had them stay in South Bend that way, but we haven't done a tri-campus community one. Probably a good idea for us to chat about.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think I would agree with Sarah. Usually it's done on the individual basis. We always love welcoming counselors to campus. They oftentimes join us for our information sessions when, again, pre-COVID, they would be there in person. And then also group visits too. Counselors bringing, groups of students from their high schools within driving distance to Notre Dame, or potentially to St. Mary's or Holy Cross. We're always more than happy to have those group visits. So please feel free to reach out. We are only a phone call or an email away. And I think sometimes counselors or students or parents just are a little intimidated to reach out to us. We're nice people. We do respond, and we'll be happy to coordinate and put you in touch with, our colleagues who can help facilitate something along those lines. So just let us know.
Great, thanks guys.
You bet.
And Jennifer, I might mention as well, and Alicia, you might be able to help me with this. There's a pretty active group. In fact, you even have a title or a name for the community of college counselors from the Holy Cross secondary schools, Alicia, right? And Jennifer, you might know about that already, but they do some activities together. Alicia?
Yes, so actually my first year at McNamara, we took a visit to Notre Dame and Holy Cross College and St. Mary's. And so there was a group of high school counselors from Holy Cross schools. And we haven't done it, obviously since COVID, but we were planning to do it when everything sort of, went awry. But yeah, I'm happy to connect and, get another group together, because sometimes it's more fun when you're in a group.
Yeah.
But it was an awesome, amazing, eye-opening visit. And so, yeah, happy to connect about that.
Fantastic. I'll send you my email in the chat here. Thank you.
And Lindsay, you are welcome to ask your questions if you'd like.
Okay, thank y'all again for letting me crash the party. I am an academic advisor, so I've worked with a lot of undergraduates over the years, and as of last July, I started working more so with the graduate students. So if y'all have any questions that you would like to direct through admission or to academics, I can usually find the answer or answer directly. So I'm a resource in that way. I'll offer myself up first. So my student who's running back and forth doing other things on a Friday afternoon, as 17-year-olds will, I am just curious, her interest is more in journalism, writing, filmmaking. And I know a lot of your schools, you highlighted your kind of health and STEM and those sorts of areas. So I was just curious which of your schools have, programs that you can speak to in that regard in my daughter's world.
Yeah, anyway, I saw Sarah's hand go up.
Yeah, probably. I would say most of us probably do. That was my major at St. Mary's. We have a communication studies program. That is, I think the best thing about it is just how well-rounded it is in terms of the preparation for students. We have students going on to work in journalism, television and print journalism. You can go on and work in public relations, which is what I did when I first left. We have students going out into advertising agencies, public relations, marketing type of positions. We have a lot of students that are going on to law school and graduate school, to pursue their graduate degrees. And it's really, I think that's one of the cool things about it is there's really so much you can do. And we really give the students quite a wide variety of classes and practical experiences in the program to allow them to go on and have a lot of options.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. We also have a combined, the tri-campus community has a combined student newspaper, The Observer, that a lot of our students in the, journalism, kind of communication studies work on. And then also television station and radio station, that sort of thing.
I would say, just to add off of what Sarah mentioned, Lindsay, at Notre Dame, we have the film, television, and theater major within the College of Arts and Letters. It's a fantastic liberal arts education that I think would be right up, would be a perfect stepping stone if you're thinking about, going into communications, journalism, whatever it may be. And then we also do have a minor in journalism within the College of Arts and Letters at Notre Dame too. So if you want more information, feel free, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll put my email for you and then for everybody else in the chat too. So I'll be happy to pass along some information your way if that would be helpful.
Great, thank you. And thank you, Abby, I appreciate that link.
I have a question. So I'm curious to know how each of your campuses during this time of virtual learning and being away from each other, how you were able to still foster a sense of community amongst your students.
That's a big one. That's a big one. I could see. Michelle, you want to start us? I think you unmuted yourself. Yeah.
Yes, sure. So we opted to be back in person right away, and it took a lot of planning, a lot of community involved. And so most of us were back on campus for our students, and we did it starting in fall 2020. So staff, faculty, and students all in person. Now we test the 25% of our campus every week for COVID, and we're still going strong, but we have a very, very small percentage of online education. And what we were doing to foster it a lot with the counseling center, a lot with the supporting offices, a lot of email communication, and a lot of residence life communication as well to support our students. But it worked, and we're grateful, and we're better for it.
Yeah, to kind of echo Michelle, same thing at Stonehill. We've been back in person since September, which we've been fortunate to be able to do safely. We're testing students twice weekly on campus. We've partnered with a testing center in Cambridge, Massachusetts. So we've been able to, that's been helpful to us, right? As we're, able to keep students in the dorms and on campus. We had, I think the number was about 25% of courses were taught entirely online this year, but 75% were still either in person or hybrid. So again, able to do that safely, and we're grateful. We've already made the announcement, provided everything kind of continues the way it's going, trends continue the way they're going, to not have any classes taught entirely remote in the fall. So really committed to bringing folks back in person to campus because of, what a transformative experience that is. It's really important to our president, Father John Denning. He's been very vocal about getting students back to campus as soon as possible, as safely as possible.
Yeah, I'll just add the way that we communicated with our students too. We were also in person this past academic year, but really encouraging them to, to take precautions and to do that for themselves and for each other. Again, talking about that sense of community that we've all been talking about, of that kind of sense of responsibility to the greater good. And so that we've been successful with that as well on our campus. And I think that was a big piece of it. And also, providing resources to students when we did have to go virtual last spring, making sure that students had access to technology and internet that they needed to complete their courses when we did have to be virtual entirely. Mm-hmm.
I think we would all probably agree that we can't wait for everything to be back to normal, because it's just been difficult trying to again continue that sense of community in a COVID time, as we all know. So cross your fingers. Hopefully, things are looking better as time goes on, and we do get back to that normalcy this next academic year for sure.
I did mention that at the University of Holy Cross is in New Orleans. And if you remember, what happened right before COVID was Mardi Gras. So we all out partying at Mardi Gras, not knowing there's a COVID. And so we were hit very hard. So we did shut down for a while. And, but then we have a big nursing program. So nurses can't really learn virtually. So we brought back nurses, pre-med, you know, some of the science classes. But one thing that I'm proud of at Holy Cross that we did do is we opened up, we have a counseling department all the way through doctorate and can be online. And we have free counseling for all of our students and their families. And so, and we serve the community. So we offered up free counseling for anybody in the community of New Orleans, which doubled our capacity, but we still are doing that. It's free. So we offer free counseling to anyone in the community, and it has skyrocketed. So just offering those services. We did do a big blow up 300-foot movie thing, and like a drive-in movie, and just trying to connect to the students who are online, because I do feel bad for them. But we hope to be back in the fall, you know, as well. And I did want to say that right before COVID, the University of Portland came to New Orleans, the choir, Maureen Brie, I'm not sure I'm saying her name, and we didn't know COVID either, but none of them got COVID. They went back to University of Portland. They were all safe. And so I did want to offer, when COVID's kind of calmed down, we do offer for colleges or high schools, any Holy Cross family, to come to New Orleans. We're on the West Bank. We have the dorm that the University of Portland stayed in, and they went sing like at Holy Cross High School and different things. And it was a great partnership. So we do offer that to anyone. I know y'all all up north and stuff maybe, but if you want to come south to New Orleans, you're more than welcome.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of that, we've also opened back up our in-person campus tours. So we've been getting a big boom in that, so that our students can see the campus rather than just watching a video. We've been getting a lot of student response from that.
So I know we're at the end of our hour. I do want to welcome Brother Adolph, who joined us, and Brother is currently studying. He's from Uganda, and he's here studying in Texas. Brother, you said that you had a question?
Yes. I want to first thank everyone for the wonderful presentation about our Holy Cross universities here. And in the interest of time, I think I begin appreciating, I think, the 3 or 4 universities I've heard of. I think King's College has been very instrumental in our ministry in East Africa, and at Holy Cross Lakeview. We've also had interactions, and of course, St. Edward's University so much, Notre Dame too. We are very grateful. I visited Holy Cross College at some point, Holy Cross in New Orleans. I look forward to coming back. But now, I really appreciate the integration of Holy Cross values in our universities and our high schools here. And I also appreciate the fact that we are growing towards realizing the Holy Cross internationality, to be able to share the values that we have and uphold here. So I was wondering, for all our universities here, is there any way we can lay a strategy of at least increasing Holy Cross internationality? I want to give an example with King's College. Sometimes we just do a simple cross-cultural exchange program. The students are able to interact with students in Africa. But when you do an evaluation of how it impacts on the students at Holy Cross back in Africa, it is so rich an experience that you find they learn a lot from the same experience. And I believe it cuts the cultural bounds, that students are able to learn more and know about Holy Cross, and also enjoy the benefits of the Holy Cross values. So I don't know, in our plans as universities here in the US, is there any way we could move a step forward like some others have attempted to do, to increase on Holy Cross internationality?
And that's a great question, brother. It's, you know, the work that's been done through the provinces has been largely through the provinces, although some of the universities have done some extended efforts in that international outreach. But that's exactly the point of an opportunity like this too, is to begin to build those bridges and to create those relationships so that we can have such programs in the future. And the barriers that we've had. I think if there's any silver linings to the terrible year that we've had this past year, one of the silver linings is that, we've been able to do things like this, right? International gatherings. And just as an example, we had a group of American students who did a student assembly with and for the students at Holy Cross Secondary School in Lakeview 2 weeks ago. And it was remarkable. We had some students on the US side who did a few things. I said a few things about what it means to go to a Holy Cross school. And then in return, the students of Holy Cross Lakeview said that the same thing about what it was like at their school. It was a remarkable experience. And so hopefully even that begins the opportunity to do more. I will say as well that we are, as a Holy Cross Institute, exploring some ways to create some pipelines for dual enrollment type of programs where your students internationally can get some high school US diploma credits, and then potentially to be able to have some matriculation and earn some college credits with that as well, right? So I think there's lots of possibilities. The internationality of Holy Cross, from the very beginning, Moreau saw this as an apostolic mission, as a missionary order. He didn't want to just stay put in central France. He wanted to spread around the world. And he wrote to Father Sorin, do everything that you can under the heavens to grow Holy Cross. And how edifying it is today that Holy Cross has grown as much as it has all over the world. Just really remarkable. So I don't know if that necessarily answers your question specifically, but I think that Brother know that I think that the best is still yet to come.
And Brother Adolph, I'm just going to chime in from St. Edward's University, and and certainly our entire audience know, we have a special scholarship for students from Holy Cross high schools called the Moreau Scholarship, and we offer one of those scholarships per Holy Cross high school around the country. And our international admission director, David Bernay, I think he's done some work with some of the students at Lakeview. In fact, we have a student who was awarded that scholarship this year from Lakeview. We offer it for our international high schools as well as the domestic high schools. And as Dr. Clark mentioned, I think one of the silver linings of this, really difficult last year is that we've found that there are ways that we can be connected across time and space, right, through Zoom. And I know that many of our colleges have done presentations virtually to high schools around the globe this year, and high schools that we wouldn't have traveled to in person. And so I think, at St. Edward's, and I speak for the other colleges, I think they would say the same. We're always happy to, you have a friend in the admission offices at our colleges to reach out to and say, I would love to have someone from your university give a presentation to my students just about what is college like, in the United States, or how do I approach the process of considering applying to college in the United States, or what are the opportunities in terms of scholarship or aid for a student coming from out of country. So, I know that any of us would be happy to kind of set that up. And I know David Bernay, our international mission director, he's been doing college fairs and virtual visits, at late night here in Austin and early in the morning, and sometimes getting up at 2 a.m. if necessary. So we are happy to be kind of wherever you need us to be. And this virtual space allows us to do that. So.
Fantastic. Thank you, Dinah. And I'm going to go ahead and just bring it to a close. I'm sure that there might be a few others with some questions, but this has been fabulous. I can't begin to tell you just how gratifying it is for me that this family of Holy Cross admissions representatives, admissions professionals, that you work as closely as you do together, that you know each other as well as you do, that you encourage and support one another, and that you do see yourself as a family of Holy Cross, as opposed to competitors with one another, right? And it's really very beautiful. And I want to encourage our secondary school people to the map that you now have a copy of, that is made so that you can print and poster size and frame and put it in your counseling center offices. We've made it available electronically. It will be on our resource center, but please try to encourage your students to look at these schools. I can tell you from my 23 years of working at Bishop McNamara, our students who matriculated, to almost all of them, 6 out of the 8 of them, I can tell you that we've had students matriculate, just had remarkable experiences. And I myself look forward to visiting your campuses again soon. I've been to 7 out of the 8 in Marty. I haven't been to University of Portland yet. All right, so I hope to get out there soon. And I hope all of you will see the Holy Cross Institute as a resource, okay? So thank you. I raise my glass of water and I toast you and I bid you farewell, and let's all remain disciples with hope to bring. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Bye-bye.